Hello friends and potential friends. Well, it's another beautiful day in southern Idaho. My plan for the day was to move more dirt and hopefully put together and install the last of 4 Lego Garden metal raised beds for my mom. My goal was to get 4 of them done this year. And who knows, I may bring 4 more with me next year. But something has come up. See, I was out here checking on the irrigation water yesterday. Today is Thursday, my first day after irrigating for the week. And I happened to notice a little flash of red over here in the wild area. Now, to be honest, I don't know what most of these plants and trees are, but one in particular caught my eye, and it looked kind of like this. That, my friends, is a little plum, and it's starting to ripen, and there are more of them, and more, and more, and more. All buried in the brush here. So I got looking, and as it turns out, there are a number of plum trees buried in here. This one right here close is fairly small, but when I go around behind it and start looking into the woods, as I call it, you can see that that one's fairly small, but towering over top of it is Granddaddy. That, my friends, is a multi-decade old plum tree. And I climbed up in it yesterday to pick a few more ripe plums that were up in there. And I see now that there are a number of other smaller plum trees around it. Some not so small. So my goal for today is to try to clear the brush out of here so that my mom and my little sister can get in here and get at the low-hanging fruit. I'm sure what's up in the top is going to be left to the critters, because even I'm not willing to climb too high up there, but I think there'll be more than enough for them to get here down close to the ground. So I'm gonna get busy. I've got a new task to do today. Well, let's start, but for now it's break time. Skin's a little bit thick, but these things sure are sweet. And we'll let it grow another one. Okay, back to work. Oh, more metal. This is buried pretty good. Needless to say, the weed whacker won't appreciate that. looks like chicken or hog wire or something. That is buried in there pretty good. I think I'm gonna have to get my wire cutter for that one. Oh boy. You never know what you're gonna find around here. Well, got an old section of fence you don't feel like dealing with, just bury it. Leave it for a future generation to deal with. More metal for the scrap pile. And if anybody wants to venture a guess as to what this was used for, it's 12 feet long, 4 by 6 looks like. Has these cleats about every 3 feet with a ring on them. This one is just a makeshift ring of barbed wire. There's another wad of barbed wire, but most of them are these oval rings like this. If anybody wants to venture a guess on what that might be used for, leave it in the comments. But I won't be judging your guesses because I really don't have a clue. And while we're making guesses on things that I haven't got a clue about, is this a rose bush or a cotton bush? I do see some rose hips over here, and it definitely has thorns, but it's got these little cotton balls all over it too. Just one of the many things I've encountered in Idaho that I really don't have a clue. Kind of interesting looking though. there's still a little bit up by the road, 15, 20 feet maybe, of brush. And this is some pretty rough ground right in here too. But I'll keep hacking away at that as time permits. Meanwhile, I do have the one small tree that's bearing fruit out here isolated where we can get to it well. And I've cleared quite a bit around at least this half of the main tree. Took off a lot of dead branches too. So you can actually walk under here. And got one candidate here that to attempt to transplant. It's only a couple feet tall, but it's got a lot of life in it. And it's totally under the shade. So I might as well try to get it out of here. There are a few more over here. Looks like 3 or 4 or 5 of them right in a row. They're really too big to try to transplant, but they are totally in the shade. So I'm not sure what I'll do with them. Still more cleaning up to do in here, but that's going to have to become a long-term project. However, can I find it? I may have to do some tree climbing. That thing's about 10 feet off the ground, and it looks like it's about ripe. There's still a few fruits on the main tree. But I'm going to wrap this up for now. You see what I'm doing in here. And I'm just going to continue doing it as time permits, but I want to get back to finishing up that garden, because we need to get some soil ordered and delivered pretty soon. So that's it for this brush hogging. Let's see, I've been a manual backhoe, and now I've been a manual brush hog. What am I going to be next? I wonder. I'll see you next time.